Sorry, what were you saying, Erica? You were interrupted by a high-energy wrestling intro.
Basically, the game is called 99 Games in 99 Nights. So it's basically 99 different instances of 99 nights in one game. And you have to collect 99 kids to win.
We are reaching the we're reaching the natural conclusion of the 99 Nights arc. Let's get ready to rumble.
Stop all those games.
Let's get ready to rumble. Is Michael Buffer, and that is from boxing, not wrestling.
No, it's not. Isn't it for? Oh no, really? Oh, you're right. Oh, that's so embarrassing. No, you're right. Knox is correct. It's from curling.
Curling, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
All right, so we're supposed to have Manvi here today, which should add a much-needed element of discontent. She's running late because she wants to be dramatic. But we have some improvements in our process today. You'll notice that our illustrious assistant Pika has linked you all to this different kind of separate channel that's designed specifically for sharing your games, which will hopefully make it easier for us to balance a chat where everybody can talk with a game queue for games that people want to review. Sound good?
Yep.
So you can see it behaves totally differently. This time, Erica has posted a game first, which I don't think has ever happened. That's a joke, of course, because Erica is always very prompt with her games. Uh-oh, DJam's here. We've got a real expert in the house. DJam, how are you doing? Last we spoke, you gave us a lot of great insights into how you increment your games. Hey, speaking of which, let me ask you something before, if you don't mind, and you feel free if you just want to say in the chat. We don't always have to put you on the spot, but you're welcome to join the voice if you like. You gave us a lot of really good input last week about how you publish your game rather, and then based on the metrics, you'll make changes to see if you can increase the play session length. Something I'm curious about is, do you have any thoughts on how you decide on specific changes to make based on what you're seeing in the analytics?
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thanks, DJam. That was really helpful. So I hope everyone got that. Those are the secrets to making a successful game on Astrocade. And also, DJam's voice sounds a little bit different than I thought. No, it's not Simon Pika. That was DJam. But you have to understand, DJam is so good at making games that his advice won't necessarily be comprehensible to mortals like us. So we're going to have to figure out what the secret message was there. In the meantime, while DJam chews on that, I'm going to start pulling up some games.
The Astro game discussion.
Okay. I think we're going to probably want to preemptively ban AI voices. I can see that being the right call.
Non, pardon, c'est des erreurs. Pardon. Sorry, I was on phone. Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, so it was a really simple question that you're welcome to interpret however you like. You'd mentioned last week that when you publish a game, you'll keep an eye on the play session length, and then you'll make changes to try to improve how it performs. And my question for you was, based on what you see, whether it's the play session length or how many different lengths or different plays you're getting within different categories, 10 to 30 seconds, etc. How do you decide what to change? What's your criteria for deciding what about your game you want to modify to try to improve how it performs?
Sorry, but there's no solution for everything.
Sure.
I try. I have to I have to give you an example to be more clear.
No, that'd be perfect. Yeah, that sounds great.
For example, I change. Yes, I just have the problem with the the players falling early, and I tried multiple solutions. Uh, First, I tried uh, to make them go back to the road. Just move back to the road and continue to play. But I, I tried that some days, and I saw that that was had no effect.
Mm,
People still live when they fall with the bike.
mm,
So
mhm,
I brainstormed and tried some other solutions, and the solution I just made the last solution I made is to add a bullet time effect when you just before you fall, and to
uh-huh.
change the full experience, the game over experience, the crash experience into a mini game where you have to tap fast to in order
Oh,
to
clever.
to save your life.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
because it's just a brainstorming on thinking what player wants to do when they crash. Uh, the main thing is that they don't want to see the crash. If they see if they see themselves crashing,
Mm.
they leave, even if they had no penalties, but they leave if they see the scene when they crash. So I decided to make that the choice of letting them act to save the life. And finally, it was better than letting just forgiving them and placing them on the good side of the road.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounded like your first guess was that you were seeing a drop off in plays because when the player died, it was maybe frustrating or made them feel like the game was too hard. And so your first solution was to just kind of make it easier, kind of put them right back on the bike or whatever. That doesn't seem
Yes,
like it changed anything. So then you said, maybe I'll just make this whole experience more engaging rather than trying to make it easier. So when they crash, you give them this mini game where they can tap their way back onto the bike to make it more interactive, I guess. And it seems like that worked.
that's it. Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. So here's the lesson, everyone. I mean, and the best we can do is, and DJM said it very well, which is that there's not going to be like magical solutions that always work, but rather we can look at examples of what worked and try to keep those in mind for our own games. And so if you find that maybe people find your game frustrating, I still think DJM's first attempt is a smart thing to do. So if your game perhaps has too many people rage quitting, if it seems like a lot of early drop offs, I do think it's still a smart move to just first say, make it a little bit easier, make it more forgiving. But it sounds like in the case of DJM that didn't work. So your next step could be don't just make it easier, but add some depth, add some new fun thing to do, right? So that's really cool. That's a great idea for a kind of just a go-to uh, solution if you find that you've got drop off problems. So that's really helpful. Thanks, DJ.
Thank
By the
you
way, we're
for
talking
resuming it well.
Jan- oh, sorry, say that again. I spoke over you.
I said thank you for resuming it well.
Oh yeah, of course. And in case anyone hasn't played it, we're talking about DJM's game City Rider. In fact, I'll throw a link in because it's very cool. It's a great example of a game that's both looks really nice, just it's got like a nice polished feel, but it's also got a super fun, super simple core mechanic and game loop. So check it out here. Hello, Manvi.
Hello, hello.
Okay,
What?
so today is our first day of our fancy new system of having games piling up in a different channel. So thanks to Manvi and Pikapi for setting that up. Um,
It's all Pikachu, actually.
okay, no thank you to Manvi. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to minimize Pikapi's praise. Um, all right, guys, chill out. It's just Manvi.
Oh my God. You always so happy I'm here. I know.
I'm very jealous and territorial. Manvi, by the way, Manvi spent a lot of time building this community, and then I started doing office hours And over the course of about a week or two, I decided this is my community now. So
I know. I took like a small, teeny tiny break, and he was like, I am the manager now.
yep, I did a real "I am the captain now" meme move. Exactly, creative guy.
Oh my God.
All right, all right.
Fun.
Enough of that. So Manvi, DJM was actually just giving us really good feedback. He was saying that he posted his game. He saw a lot of early drop-offs. He thought that the game might be too hard, so he first just tried to make the game a little bit more forgiving. That also didn't really have the effect he was looking for. So he then made the crash sequence on the bike into a kind of a mini game where you have to tap really fast to get back on the bike, and then that worked. So it's a little lesson for everybody of ways to try to diagnose problems with your play count, your play session time, and see if you can improve it by making the game easier or adding new dimensions to it. So a really nice little lesson to start off with. And so maybe with that in mind, I'll play a few games and I'll do some of my usual play testing. So I'm going to play the game a little bit. I'm not going to look at the chat. Just going to give you my honest feedback. And then if we want to diagnose things about it to either make the game seem more engaging or whatever, then we can apply some of DJM's thinking. By the way, side note, something we started doing yesterday that I want to keep doing. Anybody that's got a published game, please post your median play times. You're also welcome to share your screen so we can like look through analytics in more detail. And if the numbers aren't where you want them to be, we can brainstorm ways, again, just like DJM was explaining, to try to improve those numbers. So in addition to posting your games in the other channel, and maybe Manvi and Peekabee, this is something else we can think about is maybe we can find, maybe in that same channel you can just post either a screenshot of your median playtime or something like that. So we can basically look at both games themselves and playtimes to diagnose.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea because diagnosing based on your stats is literally the most important thing. And a lot of people have also DM me saying that they see a lot of drop-offs in the first few seconds. So they try to optimize it, maybe to load time, and then they see a huge increase in
Yeah.
plays. So great
Yeah, and
idea.
in fact,
I think
um,
form a habit.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said we should start forming a habit of people checking the analytics. We put a lot of thought into it for this sake.
100%, yeah. And we have a lot more coming. We're very excited. We won't actually could be as soon as today or tomorrow. We're going to have some new analytics tools that we're going to be unveiling right here in office hours. So you guys will hear about it first. And in fact, just a funny little anecdote. So B Little's game, the amazing zombie railcar shooter game that we've watched evolve over the last couple weeks. And B Little, feel free to add more if you like. But B Little mentioned last night that the game had like a 40-second download time, which is crazy. But it did have pretty good median playtime. So it was already doing well. But the download was reduced to like 20 seconds with optimization. So, 20 seconds is arguably still pretty long, but that's way better than 40. So it is very possible with some effort to make your games download faster, and the payoff is totally worth it. All right, I'm going to start playtesting.
Just
So, I'm
letting you
starting
know,
beginning.
oh, sorry. May I add
Starting.
something, please?
Yeah, go for it.
I just played the City Rider game, and it's actually pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in fact, I'm pretty sure this is probably only for games on Astrocade. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's okay. I'm just listening in.
Okay, but you're a fan of City Rider, it sounds like.
It's actually pretty interesting.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna jump into Erica's Barbie Sparkle Clean. Sounds like we might still be on the Power Washer kick. Let's see how it goes. I have not played this yet. You're gonna get totally honest playtest reactions. All right, start cleaning. What could be more exciting? Start cleaning. Actually, I take it back. This does look exciting. Tap and hold to clean. All right. Ooh, look at this. Wow. Okay, I think so far this looks great. I love the use of color. The whole Barbie color scheme is very consistent. And it looks like we've done a really good job here of lining up the kind of the dirty and the clean assets. This is like perfectly aligned. It feels really good. The whole juice side of things is in really good shape. This is an example of a really simple game mechanic. Because it's so simple, the name of the game is about making it as satisfying as possible, right? So this is like just a really, really, really satisfying game loop. But the reason it feels so good is because the simplicity is paired with like really good feedback. So you'll see, look at just the insane amount of stuff going on. There's like dirt particles falling off, and there's star and sparkle particles rising up, and then wherever I shoot, I've got this big burst of like pink bubbly projectiles or whatever. It all just looks really, really, really well connected. And I'm getting all this great encouragement as I go, like this pulsating outlines as I get closer and closer, and then this big bouncy finish when it's all done. So I'm liking this. I feel like this is really cool. One thing I do wonder, and I'm kind of enjoying it already, so this may not be that big a deal, but I feel like visually it can be a little bit tricky to sort of see the difference in some of these between the dirty and the clean one. And I wonder if there might be a way to make them look even more distinct. Like maybe the
Yeah,
whole clean
I
version
had
is uniform. Go ahead,
sorry.
Erica. Go.
I was struggling with that. I had to go in and manually regenerate them. So like this
Uh,
one, it didn't show up correctly. So it's kind of difficult. Like I have like more levels in here too.
uh-huh.
So it's the process of me trying to figure out which one needs more grime or not.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, but I feel like I'm nitpicking because the basics are in really good shape. Give us a little sense of how this came together, Erica. This is a new game I haven't seen, so I'm assuming this is relatively recent. It's similar to the cake game, but it looks a little more consistent than the cake game. I feel like you've got a really clear idea on this one. Like the cake game was funny, but it went from like uncovering a cake to frosting a cake, whereas this one just seems like a straight up power washing game that gets the concept really, really right. What do you think?
Yeah, so yesterday I saw how my cake one blew up to 20 something thousand views and 1 in a minute view time. So I'm like, let me do a Barbie one. So I decided
Uh-huh.
this morning, let me just do a Barbie cleaning one. I put some images in there and just started adding. I'm like, oh, I want it to look better, have all these fancy pop-ups, have some grime to clean. And that's how it just came to be because I wanted to try like since my profile is a lot of Barbie games and my audience loves Barbie, I wanted to stick with, I guess, pleasing the audience since all my fans like these type of games. So I wanted to try a Barbie version of it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Cool. Cool. So has this been published yet? Because I'm playing through this and I feel like this is in good shape.
I'm still trying to figure out like there's a few images that need some work, but it's almost there. I'm probably gonna finish it by today, hopefully, or tomorrow.
Well, let me ask you this, because I do think it's in a pretty good state. What do you think about publishing it now, seeing how it performs, and then deciding if it's worth going back to clean up some images or whatever else you had in mind?
I just want to make sure that it works because there was one bug where the first one that I didn't catch was at the end. When you do the 30 levels, when you hit play again, you can't play anymore. So maybe I just
Ah.
want to test the bug one last time before I publish it.
Well, that's great. I mean, I would never want to discourage anyone from testing. You should always do that before publishing. I guess I wondered. So there's 30 levels, huh?
I added more levels to it. There was 20 before, now I put this 30 of them.
Wow. I mean, that's a ton of levels. So that's great. But I feel like, I mean, it'll honestly probably take at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes to get through the whole thing. What do you think? Something like that? Like, I guess my point is, you'll know if this game has a good median playtime, even if you can't successfully replay the whole game, because 30 levels is a long time. So you
Yeah, I
might
put
be
a
good now, and just if people like it, go in and fix the bugs. But if for whatever reason they don't, then you don't need to waste your time. You can move on to the next game, you know?
I did put a game selector in the mobile game settings platform so I could go into each level manually if I need to
Yep.
fix any of the images. Because you see this bag, the grime is a little messed up on it still. So I gotta decide, do I spend my time regenerating the asset or do I just post it and see if people still like it anyway?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, either way, like I said, it's great. Nicely done. I think this has got to be one of your most efficient games I've seen yet. Whereas it sounds like you started it fairly. Wait, why are the combos going crazy like this?
Leave that down.
Maybe
Yeah,
there is a
combo
bug.
breaker.
This is like actually like passive income, idle clicker kind of game. I'm just racking up combos without even playing. Okay. Well, never mind. I take it all back, Erica. This game's a mess. This combo bug changes everything.
Oh,
I
okay.
was. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is great. Yeah, so maybe if you got a couple bugs you can fix, I'd say go for it. But you're very close. If I were you, I'd maybe tweak a couple things and then just publish it and see what it does.
So what should I tweak? I guess the combo thing and anything else, or
Well, that's the only thing I've noticed. I mean, you mentioned you had another bug in mind. If there's something you're aware of, go for it. But again, I mean, to me, this is the first time I'm seeing it, and I played through 18 levels, and it was like a breeze. So I think to me that says it all.
Okay, I'm glad I got that whole grime issue down because I know we were having an issue with that frosting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Cool. All right, great job. I'm going to move on to IQ Level Up's Pixel Road Rally. We've seen this game before, but it's kind of a favorite, I think. There's all sorts of cool ideas here. So it's been long enough since I played this that I think I can jump in and not be totally unbiased, but probably provide some fresh eyes feedback. So let's see. I will indeed. Let's reload. This is still so cool. Okay. Let's go. What do you think? Campaign endless? For testing purposes, I think I'm going to do endless. Start with endless. Okay, I now know this is fuel, so I'm going to collect this. Ah, we got the morphing. Oh, cool. Okay. So an immediate thing I've noticed that I remember from last time is I felt like it was pretty easy to crash and die very easily. Like it was so easy that it was kind of frustrating. But now it seems like it's a little more forgiving. So I can spin out, but I don't necessarily die immediately, which is cool. That definitely makes the game feel more engaging. Oh, missed the fuel. Ooh, okay. So more forgiving, but not totally forgiving. Okay, so let me mute this for a second. That one change made the game definitely a lot better for me. IQ level up. What do you think about where things are now? What have you been working on? What have your goals been with this game? Okay. Well, how about this? Has it been on the feed long enough to get a sense of what the median playtime looks like? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it'll take a few days then. No worries. Well, this would be great to check in on then. My guess is that people will be appreciative of how it looks and feels like you put a lot of work in it. I think that's great. The interesting thing to try to figure out, and this kind of goes back to what DJ was saying, is what does the play session length look like and what does it tell us? So, for instance, and I'm going to speculate, and we can compare what I speculate to what actually happens in a few days. One possibility, let me make sure I'm muted here again. Okay, is people hit the insert coin thing, they get this whole thing, this is very cool, and then they get into the game, they get the title screen, they get the menu, and then let's say they start campaign. So right off the bat, what we'll find out, and then there's this ready press any key thing. Something we'll have to find out is this too much friction for a casual player? And I don't know. Some games have a lot of this kind of intro menu stuff, and some games don't, right? So that'll be something to determine. And then the next thing to figure out is, does the game loop work for people? Like, oops, that guy just ran right into me. So my original feedback was that to me it felt like it was too easy to spin out. It feels a lot better now than it did. And so we can look at the play session lengths to also figure this out, because by the time you're in the game, it's been about 10 seconds maybe. And if you play the game, even reasonably well, you should get 10, 20 seconds at least. So my expectation would be that you'd get a healthy amount of players playing for more than 30 seconds. Of course, the goal is a minute, minute and a half, something like that. But I think you can at least count on a baseline of 30 plus. That'd be my hope at least. So anyway, those are my just kind of hazy speculations, and it'll be interesting to see how that actually compares to reality. Okay, let's see. What do we got next? We have got clean slate. Oh, something new from Robbie. Yeah, thank you, IQ Level Up. And seriously, once you got some data, be sure to share it with us. It'd be really interesting to see how your game performs.
Hi. Please make sure to also play it with sound.
I will indeed do it. Okay, let's do it. Clean slate from Robbie. Ah, we're still scratching, but in a very different way. Scratch to reveal image. Ooh, now that's a scratching sound. So I don't. Sorry, I'll stop scratching for a second. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I'm just thinking out loud, doing a playtest. I know I'm revealing something. I'm not exactly sure what the objective is yet, but I'm gonna stick around and see how it all plays out. I will say this, regardless of what the objective is, the radius of my little scrubbing brush feels a little small in that I'm using a trackpad, and it's a lot of kind of manual effort to reveal this, but the experience is good. I'm wondering if it's just a little too much work.
Do you think is it possible to give a different radius on PC and mobile? Because on mobile it goes much quicker.
That's a great question. And the answer is that, as a general rule, yes. If you were to tell Astra something like, on desktop, double the size of the radius, keep it the same on mobile or something like that, you should get that easy enough to test. But yes, that's a great idea. Generally, you don't need to do too much of this kind of thing of tailoring the game differently for different platforms. But this is an example of where I do think it's pretty clear that with a trackpad, the experience is so different compared to your finger that it might be worth giving different platforms different rules. So yeah, great thought.
Yeah, because it's done within seconds, not with my finger.
Well, this is still taking me seconds, just many more seconds. All right, almost there. Close, I think. What makes that?
I'm experiencing a demo issue. Everyone's been
Okay.
playing it all along, and now it's stuck.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that took way too long.
Okay, I see. So the idea is we're revealing images. Yeah, I think my feedback is two things. I mentioned the radius thing. The other thing, though, is even with a bigger radius, and this is an issue that affects all games with this mechanic. I've seen it everywhere. But for instance, we were just playing Erica's power washing game, and that game handled this. Maybe you got lucky with the AI. I don't know. But I feel like one way to make these games play a little better is to have a little bit of like a minimum threshold where, say you get 90% of the image revealed, like that counts as complete. And the reason that you do that is that way if there's like 1-2 pixel area that the user just doesn't realize they didn't scratch, but that they're never really going to be able to see, the game just takes care of that automatically. Because if you have to get like literally every pixel revealed, the odds that somebody will leave 1 pixel, half unfilled and not even know it because it's just too small to see are pretty high, right? And so if you just say to the Astra like, the picture is considered complete when something like 90% of the pixels are visible or something like that, some variation of a wish like that, you can make it a little bit easier to get to the finish line, and it'll kind of push you over the hump if you're close. But otherwise you run this risk of like the player feels like they're stuck because the AI or the code can see that the pixels aren't fully revealed, but the player can't. And that's a problem you want to avoid. So there might be a way to make the game just click a little bit faster. Does that make sense?
No, I've been doing actually that back and forth.
I
Because it's
see.
also sometimes it's like it leaves a whole chunk of it. And
Uh-huh.
then it's like, but it's not complete. Why is it treating it like it's complete? So I've been
Right.
doing a bit of back and forth, and I think I really need to do that custom PC,
Got it.
custom PC and mobile experience. Yeah.
Yep. Great.
But
Okay.
HiQ actually helped me with this a lot because I got a lot of feedback and it pretty much doubled my playtime. I was almost going to throw this game away as worthless.
Well, tell me more about your vision for the game. So it sounds like I'm revealing images. Is the idea that it's just kind of a chilled out, simple game where I reveal a picture and then move on to the next one?
So I have a few ideas that I'm kind of playing around. If I have a couple of ideas actually on the showcase, but I haven't tagged any for satisfying. So this is
Mm.
what this was actually my first satisfying game because I was going in the whole scratching sound.
Yeah.
People might find a bit satisfying, and then it's supposed to give a sense of this area is now clean.
Uh-huh.
And then the meta loop was there's more images as you go along, and you complete all the images.
Got it.
So
Got
it's
it.
just like
Okay.
to keep scratching until, but it's a better experience on mobile though.
Yeah, I mean that is for sure. And I use my laptop as a way to kind of juggle both office hours and playtesting. But this is a great example of a game where holding it to the standards of desktop is probably not totally fair because most people are going to play this on mobile. It's obviously designed to be mobile. So I do think it's good in case somebody does play it on a desktop that radius thing will make it easier for them. But that shouldn't be your main priority. I think you're focusing on the right thing. So overall, this sounds good. The only question beyond this is if you can dial in the core loop where revealing it and getting that sense of completion is all where you want it to be. Then the question is, do you want to do more with the meta loop? Like, could I maybe get upgrades? Could I get tools that help me reveal them faster? Like maybe I can expand my radius, even on mobile. Like I can get little gradual expansions by paying for upgrades or earning them after so many images are revealed. Or maybe there's some other tool in addition to scratching that lets me reveal the image in another way or something. Those are just ideas for like ways to keep the progression going. Have you thought of anything like that?
Mm, not so much that, but I do know there's some people who kind of like, I wanted to scratch for me, and I was kind of going for the scratch feel.
Uh,
So they lose
yeah,
the feel part, but some people don't care too much about the feel. And
yeah,
I
it is
also think,
how
yeah,
many people want the game to play itself. I've never understood that, but some people love that. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, and I think there's also a question that I have where like these type of cleaning games, I don't think they necessarily relate to everyone because not everybody really likes cleaning spaces. So that's also the thing that I'm not sure about. Is it like people who don't mind a bit of a mess, or is it like because I also tested with another game. Like some people like the other cleaning games, some people it's just like, why am I cleaning up?
Well, look, I mean, no game is going to appeal to everybody, but I do think there is something in a lot of people. You can see it in the videos they watch and in other games they play, where revealing something or untangling something or cleaning something is really satisfying. So it won't be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's a popular enough genre. Hey, one more random idea. You mentioned people kind of want the the image to reveal itself, which I think is silly, but I get why some people want it. I wonder if maybe an upgrade you could offer after a couple images is wherever I tap to reveal, it automatically does like a mirror image tap. So if I'm scratching in the bottom left corner, it'll mirror my scratching in the upper right corner as if I've got this like twin. So I get to the image half the time because everything I do gets mirrored. So it's kind of doing it for you, but it's still keeping it interactive by making you play. That's like something that I think would be interesting that I haven't seen in a power washing game. So just an idea to think about for anyone doing power washing.
Yeah, that's a good
But
idea given how much surface area there is in this game.
exactly, exactly. But I think what you've got here, which is so good, is a really simple, really testable core loop. You got some feedback from me, but this would be a great thing to test with a couple other people and see if you see any patterns in what people want. And it sounds like you've already kind of done that. So I'd say keep the testing going,
Yeah.
or if you've got enough feedback, maybe now is the time to kind of clean it up enough to publish it and then see how it goes there. But I really like the incremental steps you're taking. This is a really good process.
Yeah, so I did publish it, and I don't know if you saw the comment, but HiQ actually helped me like pretty much double the median time.
Oh,
So it's
really?
actually been doing a bit better. Yeah, so now it's like over 1 minute, 4 seconds. Like it's been progressively getting better
That's
through the
great.
day. I think it got released like a day or two ago
Well, then
on the
tell us,
feed.
what did you and IQ decide to do to improve it?
Yeah, I think I like the mirroring idea. I think that's cool. And
No,
I'll
no,
read
but
the comments. I see people have stuff in the comments. Oh, you want me to tell you now?
no, well, you said you and IQ made it jump up. What did you guys do? What was the change you guys made to get the playtime to increase?
Oh, he gave me some feedback.
Uh-huh.
So okay, I think part of it was I had some people testing. Okay, part of it was I had people testing who were like confused and didn't like the cleaning, so I added a lot more hints. So as you can see right there, it's like keep scratching because I had some people
Ah,
like swipe it once and then be like, now
got
what?
it. Yeah,
So I
yeah, got
added
it, got
that, but then it was also like performance things, like the way that the thumbnails were showing up. At the end, there's a reward And then there was some like just things weren't carrying over in terms of the completion, was also playing around with the completion time and percentage and those type of things. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like it was a combination of a little bit more onboarding. Some people just didn't know what to do, so you clarified that, and then you did just some basic game balance kind of tuning, like you said, when it's considered complete or whatever, which is kind of standard stuff. And so it's really cool to see that by following the kind of straightforward steps you'd expect, you actually got benefit from that, and you saw the increase in playtime.
Yeah, and it has triggers. So like it's only after it notices within a few seconds that you've stopped scratching that it shows this. So like you'll see if you start scratching, like all these messages disappear. So it has like, in a sense, it's kind of like contextual, like
Uh-huh.
instructions. It's not like
Yes.
contextual play, but it's like if it notices that you're stopping, because I've had people do that thing of swipe it once and then be like, now what? I've
Oh, that's
added
great.
that, keep scratching to reveal. And then it's also like, but why am I scratching? Which is also why I added the scratch to reveal image. So it kind of also shared the objective of the game.
That's a perfect lesson for all of us, which is, and it just sounds like everything you're doing, you're getting it directly from watching people test and seeing where they struggle and where they have fun, which is like the perfect move. So I'm really glad to hear you're doing it. That's a really smart process. So yeah, keep it up, and let's just see where the game goes as you continue to respond to user feedback.
Okay,
Great.
thanks. This is the game that's gonna. Oh, sorry, just a quick one. I'm switching out my game for the academy on this one because I actually want to graduate.
Okay, no worries. That sounds good. Okay, next up, Cannon Clash from Plankton Fun. Another game we've watched evolve a lot, which is always a fun thing to see. And the action starts immediately in this game, huh? You've got a lot of audio action here, folks. Oh my god, my ship is on fire.
Shoot it.
Okay, we get the point. I cannot seem to put out the fire by shooting cannonballs at it. That is not working. But let me just continue to. Uh-oh, ship damage. Go to the wood planks to repair. Oh, there is a way to repair. Oh, well, too late. My ship is sinking. All right, let's try that one more time. That was a lot of fast action. Let's try this one more time, and then I will see what chaos is unfolding in the chat. Okay. Ooh, wow, got that guy. That was fun. Seemed pretty satisfying. Press E to reload. Oh, very cool. So we've implemented some of the reloading that we talked about last time. So the game has evolved a lot in that where I'm standing and what I'm doing really matters in a way that it didn't. Okay, press E to repair ship. Oop, I should stop shooting at my own ship, probably. Move to ammo crates. Oh, I was stuck behind the pole, I guess. Okay. Okay, I think I did it. I think I survived. I think I properly repaired my ship. I do still think it's kind of hilarious that I'm like running around with a handheld cannon. But that is pretty fun.
Nice play.
All
I'd
right, I
like to
think
see
this
two cannons on the back end of it, or maybe one cannon that I can swivel and control on the back versus having it in my hand, and maybe one on either side.
like a tail gunner kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like the back of B Little's game on his train game.
Yes, Toxic, I do use a trackpad in 2026. My brand new MacBook has a trackpad. How dare you? A mouse. Now, okay. In what universe is a mouse more modern than a trackpad? Y'all crazy. Crazy. Anyway, we got a little detoured. The focal point is not on my input devices. We're done with that conversation. We are focusing on Plankton Fun's pirate adventure. So, Toxic, I like your... I can't win. It's impossible. I like your idea about the kind of the... So you're saying like kind of like a mounted cannon?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I love that too. By the way, what's going on? I'm looking at my own screen sharing. I am in a continual syncing loop. Plankton Fun, explain yourself. So here's what I like about the game. And okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's kind of a fun bug though. So I feel like, yeah, the clouds are cool. They're a cool touch. What I like about this game, and let me just restart it because this is getting distracting. What I like about this game is that it's got like a really fun, light kind of attitude. Like the game seems silly, but it's got like good action to it. So I think it's in a really good place. There's a few things I would like to change. Or rather, no, I'm sorry, not a few things I would like to change. A few things I would consider suggesting you change. And I'm agreeing with Toxic on this one. I think that like a mounted cannon would give each part of the raft like a different purpose. They're like stations, right? So in the front of the raft or the back, whichever, basically where I'm facing, that's where I have to go to shoot, right? Like I can't shoot from anywhere. I can only shoot from certain places. And then the other side where the cannonballs are stacked, that's where I have to go to collect cannons, and then maybe anywhere in between, depending on where cannonballs have landed and done damage, that's where I have to go to make fixes. So it's all about different locations, moving back and forth between them, depending on what my needs are. That could add an element of kind of like time management. The other thing, though, is I feel like there's a lot of cannonballs being shot my way, and it feels kind of chaotic. And I'm wondering if there's a way to, like, maybe that makes sense for later levels, but I feel like for the first level, it might be better if maybe there's one guy and he shoots relatively slowly, and you only gradually introduce more rafts and faster firing rate, because I think the gameplay itself is very simple, but it is possible that for a lot of casual players it might just be a little too much action too fast. So that's something to test with testing. It isn't something to just automatically do because of my feedback, but that was a thought I had. Other than that, though, I feel like it looks good and it's playing pretty well. So to me, this you're mostly in the refinement phase. What does everyone else think? Any other opinions in the chat? Other than trackpad talk, which I'm officially banning anybody for bringing up, especially Toxic.
I mean, on the edges, he can add maybe fog so that you don't see the square of the ocean, and that would kind of fix it, or give it
That's a
give it
great
an
idea.
illusion that it's a real ocean.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think fog is like a great backdrop for like a pirate cannonball battle. It would suit the look, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, Plankton Fun, you had the Kraken last time I played it. Is that disabled or is that still there? Maybe I didn't play long enough. Oh, still there at wave 5. Got it. IQ Level Up asks why the game starts loading before clicking the play button. Um, Honestly, I think the main reason we're doing that is we just don't want things to look too dead. When people load these games, the idea that it immediately starts playing, I think, is an invitation to hit the play button because it makes it very clear the game is ready, as opposed to just being like a static thumbnail or something until you hit play. Okay, Belittle is banned. Everyone say goodbye to Belittle. Did a lot of great work, but rules are rules. Yeah, so it loads again because what you don't want is the game to already be playing while you haven't even started playing yet. So it basically reloads the same game. So at this phase, I see the thumbnail, I've got the play button, and I can see it kind of running automatically in the background just to give me a sense of what the game is. But then, of course, when I hit play, I want a fresh start, so it reloads. So Plankton Fun, this game has not been published yet, correct? Okay, so we've given you some thoughts. How do you feel about your own vision for the game? Where are you in relation to that? In other words, are you close to publishing it? Are you still working on features that haven't been added yet, or are you just in the tweaking phase? Doesn't feel ready. Got it. What do you think ready would look like? What's your cutoff point where it's time to publish? Toxic, you raise a question I've been wondering about for a while. I actually don't know why the reload phase starts. Honestly, I think the reason is because the game code just resets, and the game code is what drives loading. Um, I'm always surprised that it isn't cached more quickly, but the reason it reloads is just because we just rerun the game in full. Plankton Fun, what do you have in mind for your meta loop? I think you've got a pretty clear core game mechanic, which is basically running around tending to the various raft activities, shooting, repairing, etc. What goes on beyond that, do you think? Ah, very cool. Day-night cycles are always fun. That's great. What kind of upgrades? Zombie pirates. I love it. Okay, well, Plankton Fun, why don't you, I'd say at this point, maybe make a couple more changes to the core mechanic if you like. I think the fog idea is great. I think that'll make the game look good. Flying ships. Yeah, what about flying ships? What about hovercrafts? What about aquatic tanks? What about pterodactyls? How about that? I'm kidding, of course. Please don't add pterodactyls. Unless you want to. Flying ghosts. That would fit the pirate theme pretty well. Pika, he's already got the Kraken. You just got to play it at wave 5. It's very well done.
I mean, flying ghosts would be a great idea. Like at the night side, called ghost pirates would come maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea too. Although one has to wonder how exactly one defeats ghosts with cannonballs, since ghosts have no physical presence. But that's a question for Plankton Fun to worry about. Toxic being very ableist about ghosts. Some ghosts walk. There's no wrong way to be a ghost, Toxic. Actually, being alive, I guess, is the wrong way to be a ghost. I take that back. All right, let's move on to the next game. Thanks, Plankton Fun. Please keep us posted. This is Caleb Makes Games with Decree Conquer. Neighboring kingdom threatens embargo. Our neighbor demands we change our policies or face economic isolation. So it looks like this is kind of a diplomacy sort of like geopolitical simulator game. Let's see. Is the creator here? Caleb Makes Games. Are you among us? Bye, Manvi.
Bye.
Oh, okay. So it looks like my job is to swipe these things. Disease spreads rapidly. Decree survive. As time travel appears, a mysterious stranger claims to be in the future warms of catastrophe. Hmm. Okay, so it seems like the direction that I swipe this determines my action, which wasn't super clear to me, but I kind of stumbled upon this. Let's see. So hurricane approaches. I will build emergency centers, or yeah, shelters. Dragon spot in the mountains. Do I offer to treasure or do I assemble? I think I'll do this. Okay.
No, not a coffee crisis. What?
What I think I like about this game is the complete lack of a consistent theme. I'm dealing with like embargoes in one moment and then flying dragons in another. It's kind of funny. So it sounds like the entire mechanic here is to react to these various occurrences. So my kind of initial thoughts are, to me, unless I'm missing something obvious. It says swipe left to reject, right to accept, but I feel like that's not quite what I actually get. I guess you can interpret it that way, but it seems more like they're just actually two different options as opposed to yes and no. That's how I'm interpreting it anyway. Decrees survived sounds like how many choices I've made correctly. I wonder if I were reading more closely, if I would see a pattern in how to reliably survive them, or if it's just random. Interesting idea, but I feel like what's not working for me is that I just don't feel like I have enough control over things. I feel like I'm kind of gambling, just slot machine to see what I get. But there is something fun about this. This is a cool little toss it to the right, toss it to the left mechanic. But yeah, I think this needs a little bit more core mechanic thought. Just because I think the overall the kind of long-term goal of surviving with my civilization makes sense, but what I'm doing moment to moment doesn't feel totally baked yet to me. All right, the next team we've got, I am very excited about this. We have Bug SWAT from Nox which has a really, really cool visual approach. It's kind of a game inside a game, not totally unlike IQ Level Up's racing game, but with a very novel Game Boy kind of styling. So let's check this out. Gamer Boy XL. Mom says we have Game Boy at home. So anyone that remembers the original Game Boy, it has this characteristic kind of monochrome green tint, which has been very faithfully captured here. I always interpret press start as tapping the mouse, which looks like it worked. Okay, so let's move around here. Defend the picnic. Looks like, oh, you know what? I'm moving around as I was told to, but I think I had to discover randomly that I use the space bar to attack. But that's working. Oh, looks like there's a power up here. Attract bugs. Okay, maybe opposite of a power up. I guess it's good. Makes it easier to destroy them all. Sorry, I'm gonna have to nitpick a little bit because I love the style of this so much. Why was that butterfly not Game Boy styled?
It's so that it's like a game within a game. So if you're in the field at a picnic enjoying yourself and you're playing your Game Boy and there's bugs just going on your screen like in real life.
But wait a second. So the butterfly is in the real world, so to speak, not inside the
Yes,
game. Okay.
exactly.
What threw me off though is that it got clipped by the edge of the screen, so it looks like it is inside
Yeah,
the game.
that's a bug.
Okay, got it. So it's a bug about a bug in a game about bugs.
Oh yeah, I'm trying real hard here.
No, there's so much great detail. I love how it just feels like you've actually built a little game console inside this game. Let me try this one more time without having detours about the reality of butterflies versus Game Boy bugs.
Try
Yeah,
to refresh.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, leaving aside that clipping bug, I actually really like that idea of there are things that are moving around in the real world outside of the Game Boy. That's a very fun idea because as long as you've got these two different game worlds, you might as well use them, right?
Exactly. I'm trying to make it as in depth as possible and polished.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. I got an upgrade. Wow, I'm killing it now. I wonder if the magnet works for the boss. No, just for little guys. That makes sense. I really like the weapon upgrades. These are pretty satisfying. Flamethrower, slow bugs. Yeah, this escalates quickly. I was just, oh, look at that. So you fixed the butterfly thing.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm assuming I doesn't interact with the game. It's just kind of there on. Oh, I'm not defending the basket. That's on me.
It is a distraction, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it. Okay, I'm invincible. Great. I like the feedback. Like you've got screen shake, but literally inside just the game screen, which is very cool. Yeah, this is great. I love it. I love the concept. I love the execution. How do you feel about it? Have you been doing any testing other than office hours?
I guess Pika played it. But other than that, I didn't ask anybody yet to play and give me some feedback. I'm just staring at my 45 seconds median and just, being sad about it.
Well, join the club. We all
I was just
we
gonna
all
say, join the club.
Astrocade, we have a very near and dear company policy, which is we punish hard work and we crush dreams. That's the business we're in here. So you guys knew what you were getting yourselves into. Now, I kid, of course, maybe. So it's been published and you're at 45 now?
Yeah, I'm gonna paste a screenshot in the chat
Oh,
right
yeah, okay.
now.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit of diagnosing, perhaps.
I have my biggest fan who only commented on it. I'm not entirely sure what to do to bring this to the next level.
Mm.
Can we look at your play duration so we can see your
Yes,
bars?
of course.
I think that's a little bit important to see.
Gotcha. There you go.
Okay. Oh, well, wait a second, though. So has this been published?
Yeah. It's been published.
Okay, because you've got a really low play count, which tells me we really don't exactly know what the play duration is. Because at hundreds of plays, this is a virtually random number. It's going to change significantly as it gets into like the thousands. Could go down, but it could go up. We just don't know. So when did you publish this?
Like when the academy started, I think, like a day after.
That's weird. So, I mean, it should have gone through a little test phase. We throw it to enough users to get some data. I'm really surprised you're only at 326. I may ask about this. 'Cause this is not what I would have expected. You know, generally speaking, the games go into like kind of the playtest area when they're first published, and they should get at least a couple thousand plays before any sort of decision is made about either promoting them or cutting them. So it's very strange that you've only got 326. That tells me something is weird here.
I've never seen. I have plenty of
No.
games that don't go in the thousands.
Yeah, they
Trust me.
never do, Alex. When they get released, they do about 500 plays, and then the decision's made to either pull them or put them on the page.
500? That has not been my experience. And
No.
and believe me, my games are not blowing up either, so it's not like I have some, charmed luck here. I feel like I usually get at least a, 1 or 2,000, and then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But okay.
Well,
Well,
what period of time?
108. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say 180 was the biggest that this game went in one day.
180 plays.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it's in the 40s, it gets cut earlier. Who knows? So I guess actually, sorry, let's take it out. So let's look at your distribution. So one good thing is you've got almost nobody quitting within the first 10 seconds. So that kind of rules out the really obvious stuff of like crazy download times that turn people off. But you've got a huge number of people in the 10 to 30 seconds, which is kind of the next level down. So let's do it one more time. Let me restart this.
Yeah.
You know what it probably was? It was probably that butterfly bug. People were probably just so offended by the butterfly being inside the screen.
Yep,
No,
I quit.
Yep. I only did it because I had to do office hours. So this is where
Can DJM take the mic and just explain his thought process? I'm curious.
Yes.
I don't
DJM,
understand what he wrote.
please give us some wisdom.
What's just I just said that maybe you should make something more recognizable, Game Boy and Game Boy hit, because maybe people won't be attracted by an unknown game. Maybe something if they see a Mario on Game Boy, maybe they jump on it. You
Give
understand
them
what I mean?
something they can cling to, basically, that they're familiar with. That's interesting.
Yes, something
I'll try that.
from Game Boy.
Thank you
Okay.
for explaining, because I thought you meant I should have more games within the games, like a menu with multiple games, like a
Yeah, I
bootleg.
kind of thought that's what you meant too. Well,
Yeah.
DJM, let me ask you, if this were your game, and you were looking to diagnose, play session lengths, where might you start? Because for instance, my first thought was, is there too much going on in this intro that adds friction to the beginning? But I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a problem to me. I think it looks cool. What do you think, DJM? And I pick at the intro as an example, but anything that jumps out at you is something you might try to change if you wanted to make the game's performance improve.
Yes, if you click, it starts immediately or not? If you click on the game, because
You mean
it need to be to the game start. The games need to start more quickly.
Yes, if you
Start
if you
playing.
tap when you launch the game, it's going to go straight into the gameplay.
Yes, and so I think this is a bit strange because I never played this on Game Boy. I would like to find something more how we say nostalgic. I think like Mario or something like
I don't particularly
very
care for your
popular.
design of your Game Boy because I don't think it looks like a Game Boy.
No, it looks
Yes.
like a Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't going to say that, but Yes, a little bit. It looks like an iPad with a Game Boy logo
does.
on it.
Yeah.
But
But at first, when
yes,
your game loaded up, it looked like a Game Boy.
Can you imagine if somehow this was the problem? Like this game would have twice the play session length if it just looked more like a Game Boy. It's such.
I
I'll
I
try.
love
mean,
the.
I'll
you
try it
really,
out.
honestly, it. I wouldn't say it
this
probably could be, but there is a very small chance that something like that could turn somebody away. But I wouldn't say that's your problem.
I'd be
On
pretty surprised.
mobile, I add floating buttons that make it look like a Game Boy, but on PC,
Ooh,
I didn't see it as necessary.
that's
Yes,
cool.
but does the Game Boy
yeah.
XL exist?
Once your butterfly to face the other direction would fine, and I want it to flap his wings. Do you have
Okay,
an
Jam,
animation API?
I'm supposed to. I'm horrible with animations. It never works for me. I would love your help if you have time. And to answer your question, DJam, there's no Game Boy XL. It's a fantasy
Okay,
name.
so that is something else that maybe
Yeah, just
don't
DS, Nintendo Game
attach
Boy
the
DS
people's.
XLs. I think
Yes,
that's the only one.
yes, we. This is more known, but
And yeah, I'd be more than
then
happy to help you with
you
the
should keep
animations for
the
your game.
real Game Boy
If you were asking me,
to make
anyways.
player. Sorry,
Okay.
toxic.
I understood the both of you at the same time. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thanks, DJam. Um, yeah, this is another one of those games where it's a tough spot to be in because objectively, I think it's obvious there's so much good work and creativity in this. I said before, like I really love the kind of game within a game idea. That's always fun. And kidding aside, I just don't think any of that stuff matters. I don't think anybody's playing the game less because they don't like the look of something. I think it's ultimately about gameplay and experience. But, it's so often we do our best to kind of figure out what's going on, but it's not super clear that something is like wrong here. Like this is fun. This all kind of strikes me as like a recognizable kind of game intro. Like I'm not confused by it. Um, and then once you get into the game, seems to work pretty well. I don't feel like the balance is way off. It's not like things are happening too slow or too fast or too easy or too hard. So I'm sure that there's a lot of refinements I could imagine making, but none of them jump out to me as like the reason why we're not in the area that we'd like to be in terms of play
Just
session length.
another point. Just
Oh,
another
sure.
point. Because the game itself, it's important for the playtime, but for the number of plays, the thumbnail is the most important. Can we see
Mm,
back to the thumbnail?
Sure.
interesting.
Because it's maybe it's a bit how we say deceiving.
Actually,
This
no, wait a
thumb,
second.
thumb.
DJ, you actually put your finger on a really good point here, which is going by the screenshot that Knox shared. It's actually I'm actually less worried about the play session length and more about the very small number of plays. And I wonder if this might be a case where the thumbnail just didn't attract enough people. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Yes.
the two green colors is very niche, right?
Oh, no, I mean, no, it's not even too much whether it's, attractive or not. It might just be maybe it's not sending a clear enough message about what the game is or something like that. Because, I mean, visually, I think it looks really nice. It's a cool screenshot, or I'm sorry, it's a cool thumbnail. I like the idea of the Game Boy actually looks like a Game Boy, which is cool. But I wonder if people either don't understand it, like why am I seeing a Game Boy inside a thumbnail, or if for whatever reason it just doesn't intrigue them enough to click. Because often what I see is plenty of plays and an obviously low playtime. In this case, it's a low playtime, but not plenty of plays, which makes me wonder if there's something happening even earlier on before people even get into the game. Like they're just skipping over it for some reason. I don't know. Sadly, we don't yet have good answers. What we will have soon, I don't know when exactly we're going to roll this out, but we're working on A/B testing, which will allow us to make a change to the game, but keep the previous version also being shown to half of the users, so you can actually make a comparison to find out if a change directly correlates to improved performance. For now, you just have to guess, unfortunately, but that is coming. So our hope is that we'll be able to answer these questions more definitively in the near future.
Works for me. I appreciate everyone's time and feedback. Thank you.
No, thanks for sharing. And I really do hope you can try at least a couple things because I think the work that's gone into this game means it deserves a better chance to find an audience. So if anything else changes, please let us know.
Sweet.
All right, I'm moving on to Dimension Tidy. We're a little over time, but we've also had a lot of detours today, a lot of trackpad hate speech. So I'm going to try to get through everyone's game. We'll go a little over time today. Okay, so right off the bat, I've seen a big difference from the last time I saw this game. This is called Dimension Tidy, and it was about picking things, kind of clicking things to clean them up. Anyway, now I am clearing the multiverse, and I am on a launch pad, so things have escalated quickly. Wow. Okay, this game has creative guy, as always, has taken our feedback maybe too far, but I think that's great. Let's see. Oh, he probably wants me to play with some audio. Let's see what this sounds like. Never mind. That is a very loud ringing sound. I still love that spiral effect, and now I love this hyperspace warp drive effect. That's cool. So the biggest change I'm seeing, other than all the cool theatrics, is that everything is just alive now. This is one suggestion that a few of us had, which is as long as you've got these things floating in space, make them kind of hover around, make them, maybe rotate or whatever, and we've got all that is applied now, and it makes the game look and feel much more like a real game. Like it already changes the experience. This is an example, by the way, of where sometimes a little bit of juice is actually a required part of the core game mechanic. It's not just polish, because originally all these things here were just totally static, and it changed the experience so much that I would actually consider this addition kind of a required part of that game mechanic, not just a polish pass. I think this is so much better that I already feel totally differently about this game. Even little things like you'll notice when it says entering Enchanted Forest, there's like a very legitimate sense of progress. Like I'm going to all these places. I've kind of got this spacecraft window frame that implies I'm traveling in this multiverse rocket ship kind of thing. And it just keeps delivering. I just keep getting to new levels. 10 I think is a really good start. I think this is more than enough if you were to publish this to find out if people like it and if it's worth adding more or changing. But there's a great visual variety. This one, I hope it's intended to be difficult because it kind of is. These things blend in, but that's kind of cool. It's like a difficult, advanced level. So everything as far as the experience itself goes has been improved. I think it's much better than it was. Where I'm still wondering is if more can be done to make the game itself a little bit more, I don't even want to say challenging, but just have a little bit more depth. So the answer could be no. I could totally see a game like this on its own without any major changes being successful because there's something very, satisfying and simple and fun about just clicking things until they go away, right? So I don't want to necessarily overcomplicate things. But I wonder if, for instance, here's an example. Without radically changing anything, maybe as I'm close to having everything cleaned up, maybe new things pop up, right? So say I get to this point, I have 3 things left, and maybe 2 more things appear. And not forever, but maybe, every time there's 3 left, you add 2 more. And when there's 1 left, you add 1 more or something. So there's like kind of a trailing extra level of not challenge, but just extra work to do for each level. Because it is maybe a little too quick. And it might be kind of fun if just when I think I'm done, there's like a little bit of extra cleaning to do or something like that. Or maybe the camera pans to reveal more stuff nearby, and then it does 2 pans, 3 pans, whatever, and then you're done with the level. So it's still compact and bite size, but there could be just a little bit of extra challenge that pops up instead of being visible from the beginning. That's an idea. That could maybe work. Maybe it's not necessary. I love Knox's idea. So maybe after I play through the game a little bit, I can get upgrades, and one of the upgrades could be like a thing that just sucks everything into a point, so I can clear a bunch of things at once. You can imagine other stuff. You can imagine stuff other than clicking, or maybe there's like a shockwave where, like, if I click in one point, nearby objects can also get cleaned up or something. Like I have more of a blast radius than just the one place I tap. That could be kind of cool. I love Toxic's idea of the ice forming on the windows. That's cool. But I mean, the theatrics you added are amazing. Really good work, creative guy. And what I like about this game is it's just so simple that you're in a really good position here. You can add whatever you want, you can change whatever you want, and I would imagine those changes will be pretty fast because you're not dealing with some hugely complicated game foundation. It's built on a really simple foundation, which I think is great. So nicely done. I really like this. Okay, next up, I'm going to check out Color Shot from Minds Fun Games. Has anyone else played this? I've played this game a couple times. I'm curious if we have other players in the channel.
I played it a couple times.
So let's see. So I've got a couple thoughts on this. First of all, it looks great. This game has phenomenal look. I wonder though if, even though I like this look, I wonder if there's maybe too much going on around this ball. Because it makes me feel like, I don't know, like, oops, I think I have the wrong color. Kind of makes me feel like I've almost triggered something before I've even started. But I love the kind of maximalist super neon color look. That's cool. I think one thing though, even though I kind of like this idea, any game that involves pulling things back and firing them, there's just something fun about that. That's awesome. But something I'm a little bit confused about is I can pull back basically once per round before it reloads. I have these 3 kind of horseshoe platform things, and I have 2 of these diamonds. Now I know that if I just do this, I can pretty much always get the ball to land in that cup-shaped platform. I won't collect any diamonds, but I still seem to clear the level. Now, if I try to go over here to get the diamond, which I actually find pretty tricky, I'm surprised how difficult this is. Like this might kind of, oh, see, didn't quite make it. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not super clear if I am trying to collect all the diamonds, which I don't think is possible, or if I'm just trying to land on any of the platforms. So Mine's Fun Games, I think you're here in the chat. What do you think? Because you've got this amazing look, you've got this really cool kind of overall setup. I think the part that I still struggle with a little bit is what exactly is my objective? Someone there? Is that you, Mine's Fun Games? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, actually, I find it hard also fixing that,
Mm.
the shooting and the other baskets. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's quite easy to shoot in the middle, but in the other baskets, it's actually hard. So you
Yeah.
need to like you need to do some strategy to like maybe you have to pull the ball not so long like that so that you can shoot it, because if you pull it long like
Oh, there
or
we go.
yeah, then it will, yeah, the ball will not definitely shoot in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I like about it is the pullback. This feels great. This is a really well done game mechanic. But the couple things that confuse me is, like, first of all, if I pull back and I realize I have the wrong color, there's no way to cancel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem is the color thing confuses me because other than just remembering to do it, there's not really a challenge there, but I can screw myself up if I forget to change the color. So, I wonder one possibility could be, what if there's multiple colored baskets and then you choose your color based on which basket you want to aim for, instead of every basket always being the same color, because then it almost doesn't really make a difference. It's always the same game. It just, I have to remember to change the color first. But if there was actually different baskets in the game world at the same time, then the game would actually be different, because then I could actually strategize based on which color I want to go after or something.
Yeah. So maybe I have to make some changes about my game. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, my first time to join um this, the office hour, because
Yep.
of time. So I am so actually happy and glad that now I joined the office hours so that I can hear some useful feedback that could
Yeah.
improve my games, not only the game, but the rest of my games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're happy to help. So I think my advice would be, the either don't make me change colors, or if I can change colors, there should be more of a reason why I would choose to do it. Like I said, maybe one idea is different platforms, or rather different baskets have different colors, and I can decide which ones to choose. It'd also be nice once I pull back to have a way to maybe cancel if I've decided, I picked the wrong color, we want to start over. And then the other thing is, if you've got 3 diamonds, or 2 diamonds in this case, the fact that I don't think it's possible to get more than 1 is a little confusing, because it makes me think I'm supposed to bounce it in such a way that it'll somehow ricochet and collect all 3, but I don't think that's really possible. So if not, I guess my question is, do you need more than 1 diamond, or do you want to add the ability to bounce the ball around so it can actually collect more diamonds? What do you think?
Actually, I try to figure it out that uh, like bouncing the ball, but actually, I find it hard to do it. I didn't know what the proper prompt or wish that I could put
Uh,
into this game so that it will make it possible. Yeah, I until now I cannot figure it out. So
okay.
I can make some, like, maybe I can make some other changes that could make this game better. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I would say try all the changes you can think of, including the ones you're having trouble with. And if you're not getting the results you want, share the wish in the Astro Academy channel, and others might be able to help you out if maybe there's a better way to phrase it, or a better way to ask for what you're going for or something. So be sure to give other people a chance to help you out with your wishes.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. All right, so we're going to check out Maximum Pressure 3D from Belittle. We saw this game yesterday. It was very cool. So we're back in the smashing action here. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, look at that!
Hey, get some.
That's awesome. Wait, did this freeze?
I think you're done, right? Just
Yeah, but don't I normally get like a ta-da kind of congratulations, you smashed it kind of screen? Maybe I didn't go far enough. I would have sworn there used to be like a little celebratory moment where you got. Let's try the next one. Anyway, I love that it kind of springs back. I think that's really cool. Whoa! That is a huge improvement. That is exactly what I was hoping for. That's like a proper shattering.
I still think that your machine needs to shake and not your background. I think
Ooh,
that would
yes.
give the effect a little bit better.
Great point. And yeah, I forgot to play with sound, by the way. This one might be a little too long to play the sound the whole time, but I love the sound design. My volume might just be up too high also. That adds a lot. So I do recommend, if you're going to play this, play with sound on. The shaking is amazing. It adds a lot, but I agree with Toxic. I feel like it looks too much like the whole room is shaking. Ooh, this looks, wow. That looks really cool. The metal smash effect looks great. So I think the biggest thing that's missing, in my opinion, it's the smallest thing, but it's just I'm missing that moment of like confirmation that I've fully smashed it. Because I mean, it looks great visually. The effect is there, and I love the new shattering. That's amazing. That is very satisfying. But yeah, I'm not actually getting feedback from the game that I've officially crushed it. Like I almost think there's like more crushing left to do or something, because nothing happens on the screen. That's all I would add.
Oh, not the trackpad.
All right, Pika P, you know what to do. Get rid of this guy. He had a chance. This is I just there's a lot of attention to detail in this game, and if you want to make a game like this, it will not work unless you put a lot of work into the details. And Belittle has done that here for sure. Ooh,
Oh.
watermelon. I don't think I've seen this. Yes. Yes.
Oh, jeez.
I thought I was smashing 1 watermelon. I was clearly smashing 50, but I'll take it. Oh, I wonder if the soda can has soda in it.
I don't think the response in the game has to be 100% true. You could make it funny like that, because the character doesn't really know what he's to expect.
No, I agree. I think the excessive watermelon gore was perfect. I wouldn't change that. But what I would add though, because now you've established this, like this is so satisfying. So at first I'm just kind of smashing the rind, it's dripping, and then all of a sudden it's this explosion of fruit juice, right? But if you're gonna do it for this one, you should do it for this one too. The soda can should be full. So not only am I crushing the metal, but there should be like root beer or something that just goes spilling everywhere as well. Just basically the same thing you did for the watermelon, but add it to this too. I think liquid would really add a lot to the soda can. And then my only thought on this one, I mean, it's a small nitpick because it looks and feels great, and the material is really good. It looks like glass. See if you can get it to generate just simple triangles instead of cubes for this one, because they'll look more like shards of glass, which would be really cool to see. And I'm sorry, man. I just keep saying this. This is bugging me. It's such a small detail, but I don't know if this is supposed to go outside of it or in the center of it, but it just looks a little bit weird on my screen, trailing outside of the crush meter like that. Oh, wait a second. Dynamite stack. Hold on. Hold on. This is great, but I mean, how cool would it be if it actually destroyed the press? Maybe it's the last level.
I think the screen should just go black, and then it should say the end.
Exactly. Like that. This is great, though. This is a really good game. I think there are a couple little details I'd like to see, just because I get hung up on these little things being refined. But I think you've done a really good job of not only making this game, but I can see how it's changed over the course of its development for the better. So it's also a great example of how playtesting and continual iteration can make your games really good. So this is awesome. I think that you nailed this. That shattering is so great on the glass cube.
He's asking you to
Really?
update your browser. He must have changed something.
Oh, like reload?
Yeah, refresh.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, test the TNT. My bad. Okay. Oh, wow.
That's great. That was really good.
That delivered.
Oh,
yes.
and leftover stuff like dripping from the ceiling almost at the end, like on a delay. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That was amazing. That was so cool.
Yeah,
Oh, and
okay.
and look, I don't have a smashing machine anymore.
What happens if you crush
That is
it?
great. Oh man, that's so cool. You really commit to the bit here. Excellent work. Yeah, use coins to buy new. There is no in-game currency, right? I think this would be perfect. You get someone to blow it up because they want to see the TNT blow up, and then now you got them. Now they got to spend coins. Great job. Okay, let's see. Let's try to speed run because we're out of time, but I don't want to miss anybody. We did. It looks like next one is Spooky Splatters Upgraded by Upgrade Edits. Let's check this out. Ricochet Bullets to Splatter Zombies. So this is an older game. This game's been around for a while. Was this originally by Upgrade Edits or was this a remix? Because I remember playing this a while ago, but I can't remember if this was originally Upgrade Edits' game. Yeah, who was the original creator? It wasn't Creative Guy, was it? Who am I thinking of? No way. This is your game, Pika P? Have I forgotten you? I'm sorry, man. That's unforgivable. Unforgivable. Pika P is one of our earliest and one of our power creators, so he deserves better than me blanking and giving Creative Guy all the credit. Sorry, guys. He's made it a bit worse. Oh, okay. Is Upgrade Edits here? I don't think I've seen you. Upgrade Edits. If you hear this or if you see the recording, let us know what your plan was here because unfortunately I haven't played the game in a while. So even though I was a big fan of Pika's original, offhand it's not clear to me what the changes are. Pika P says the first level is unplayable, so that's a problem. But this game is a classic, so if you want to bring something new to the table with a remix, I think that's awesome. I don't think it's clear to me what that is yet. But yep, Spooky Splatters by Pika P. While we're at it, let's play the classic for a minute. This is so cool. Yeah, I'm really not seeing what the differences were supposed to be there. But I know the original game is great, so it's a good it's a very ripe target for remixing. Even got a little bit of box physics. That's cool. Yeah, this is great. This is an early classic, and I think it deserved it's deserved some attention from remixers. I think remixing is a compliment. It means people like your game, so that part is great. Yeah, now I just want to see it maybe be remixed in a way that is a little bit more clearly adding something. There you go. Yes, with the level editor. Can we do, does the level editor work in play mode, or do we have to go into the creator experience for that? Shoot on plank. Oops. Oh, whoa, that was awesome. Nicely done, Pika P. This game is great. Still great, even after, I don't know, months, however long it's been. All right, let's check out Zenith Stacker from High Quality. We saw this game yesterday, and oh, this already looks a little bit different. Let's see. Let's see what happens. So the issue we had last time was, oh, that was okay. Cool. Yeah, this is fine. Was we had some issues with the camera following the action. But now this appears to be fixed. Yeah, so I think the main feedback was just make sure that the camera just keeps pointing at the top of the stack. It's kind of cool to have this sense of accomplishment because you can see the stack going off the screen as it gets taller and taller. It seems like it's working better now. I definitely don't feel like I'm disoriented like I did yesterday. One thing that is kind of bugging me is that this combo thing is huge and it's blocking my view of the screen. So I think combo notifications are great, but I would personally, I don't think it needs the box. You have plenty of clear space on the screen. Usually you put things in a box when the background is really noisy or something. I don't think you need that. So my advice would be just put those combo notifications. I'd get rid of the backing box and I maybe put them at the top or the bottom, like on one line, so I can still see them, but they don't interfere with my view of the game. Oops, that was bad. That's my only suggestion. And then the other thing is the bouncing is so cool. I love the kind of jello bounce effect, but maybe it's because of the way the combo thing keeps blocking my view, but there's something that feels a little bit chaotic about it. Like I think what I'm noticing is that it seems like there's a slight lag. Like the block lands on the surface and then like a very small fraction of a second goes by and then it wobbles. But honestly, I think the main issue is really just the combo thing being blocking my view. That's the only real problem that I have. I think everything else, if you get rid of that, this game would be super playable. I'm actually playing surprisingly well, considering that I have a very small surface area and I can't really see what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Streak ends.
So I think the color palette is fighting with the background. It's really hard to see some of the stuff. Like the top color of your pieces there are almost the exact same color as the background, and so you lose a lot of the definition of your pieces.
Yep. Yeah, I'm torn because I think you're completely right. I think objectively this is not as clear as it could be. I love the pastel color scheme because you just don't see it that often. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if clarity of your game is being compromised. So I do think that's good feedback. I would suggest considering what Toxic is suggesting. Personally, I love the pastel look. Look at that. That was a terrible move. But so maybe there's a way to kind of have it both ways. Maybe you can either consider maybe it's like a gradient background, so you have a little bit more color range or just something darker. I think the color of the blocks is great. The question is really just should the background have something else going on? That'd be
What if you added a black line outline around? And
you could. I do feel like that might be asking a lot of 3JS. Like it could maybe get it right, but I feel like I've experimented a little bit with cell shading and I've been kind of surprised by how not great it can be. My other concern though is even if it were perfect, I still think it's kind of a weak solution because I think you're right that too much of the screen is the same pastel shades and an outline helps a little bit, but it ultimately doesn't change that much. I think the deeper solution is just a slightly better balance of color. Like maybe whatever your color scheme is, pastel, ocean hues, whatever, it's just a darker version of one of those things in the background instead of it being the light version.
Hey guys, just real quick. I think part of the reason you're seeing it so chaotic is because the shadow perspectives are so off. So it's really messing with your brain as the pieces come in.
That's another good point, and I think High Quality mentioned this yesterday as being something they were struggling with, which was like ultimately we want. You know what? I'm going to interrupt myself. I was going to say we want the shadows to fall properly, but you know what's funny is this is 3JS, so you should be able to get this thing to actually cast real shadows so that those shadows will perfectly fall on the surface. Because it looks like what you're doing is you're doing a fake shadow. You've got the block hovering back and forth, and then you've got this like rounded rectangle shape below it, which is fine. The problem is it doesn't actually work as a shadow. So it helps a little bit, like you can kind of line it up, but I think it'd be really interesting to see what would real 3D shadows look like. It actually might make the game easier to play, and it might also improve a little bit of the visual clarity. So yeah, I think the messing with the color, please get rid of those big combo notifications because the longer I play, the harder it is to play. Just because of that. And then because you're already in 3JS, just ask it to cast real shadows and see what that looks like. I'd be curious what that's like. Okay, next up, Apex Predator from Nuvu. Oh, this is cool. We got a use of animation. Somebody there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm running around. It looks like I'm kind of a velociraptor kind of thing. I wonder if this is one of those games where I'm supposed to get bigger and eat smaller animals.
You can heal
Oh, I can heal. Okay.
on the corpses.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Wow, I'm devouring my my fallen enemies. That's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, good use of animation in this.
I tried, but it was awful. I'm not good at it.
Well, no, I mean you still got to. Oh, did I just level up? That's cool. Oh, wait. So what is it that determines who wins? Because it looks like when I land on one of these enemies, we just start kind of damaging each other.
You can kill your level and one level higher.
Got it.
That's it. But if there are several, you should run.
Yeah.
You can also heal while fighting if you are next to the corpse.
Oh, did I lose a level? Looks like I leveled back down. Okay. Yeah, this is a really cool take on the IO thing. I like the use of animation. I like I will say this, it's a little bit confusing when I level down. It almost looks like I died and respawned. Or maybe I did. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, you lose one level.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I like what you've got here. I think what I would work on is let me think about how to phrase this. Because the core mechanic makes sense. But maybe one thing that might help is if I had like little things to eat in addition to just the enemies. Because a lot of these games, there's ways to level up that don't involve fighting necessarily. The fighting feels a little bit random. I almost wonder if there'd be some benefit in adding like a little tapping mechanic. Like once I start fighting, I have to tap fast to like make sure I win the fight. Because it kind of feels like once I connect with an enemy, it's sort of out of my hands what happens, which makes it feel a little bit unclear. What do you think about something like that where the movement is the same, but once I get into battle, I'm like tap to do more damage or something?
I think it will be overcomplicated. You still need to avoid the several enemies. You still need to keep your food to heal later. I think it's simple.
Another thought then. Yeah, no, you're right about simplicity. I always like simplicity, but when I think about other games in this genre, it's usually relatively clear who I can kill, and then when I kill them, I kind of kill them instantly, right? So I'm used to games where it's like, I'm a fish and I want to get bigger, and everything I can eat, I just sort of eat it automatically. Whereas I think what's tripping me up in this game is I have this sense of like, it feels kind of random whether I'm going to win the fight or not, and it's never totally clear if I'm really in a good position to attack this guy. And so anyway, that's my feedback. I'm one playtester. Have you had anyone else play the game? Have you done any other playtesting?
No, but as I see now, it's a little hard for a new player as yourself. So I'll make it easier to level up
Yeah.
because you only seen only 2-3 dinos, so you did not get to the top. I think it's too hard.
Yeah, and I think that a little bit more playtesting would be good to get a sense of like, do other people have my kind of feedback, or do other people have maybe different reactions, and then you can decide what to focus on.
Yeah.
One detail note, though, it would be nice if it was a little more clear when I've connected with an enemy, because I feel like they just kind of overlap, and then sometimes I start seeing the health bar deplete. But it'd be nice if the moment I've made contact with an enemy, something visually makes that clear, because it's almost like there's a split second where I'm not sure if we're fighting or not, because it just seems like there's not really clear visual feedback. So it could be something like, it doesn't have to be a whole animation, but maybe it could be something like when I touch an enemy, one of us gets pushed back a little bit, or we get closer and we start kind of going back and forth to suggest we're fighting, or some kind of just visual detail that lets me know these two enemies have connected, or these two characters, because that's something else I feel like here's an example. We just, now we're fighting, but there wasn't a really abrupt change that said you are now in fighting mode. It just sort of starts happening. Sorry, that's not explained very well, but a lot of games will have this moment of like immediate feedback when something happens, and it's just a little bit too subtle in this game, for my opinion.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing, and be sure to keep us posted as your game progresses. Okay, Storm Hunter, Clean It. Another entry in the Power Washer genre. Ooh, this is a good one. Even on my ancient trackpad from 2024, this feels really good. And you know what I love about this is, look at this, like it's almost like evaporating water or something, this kind of fade effect. Perfect. I'm reading the word perfect, but I'm also thinking it feels pretty perfect. This is really, really good. This is dead simple. There's no distraction. The UI is not getting in my way. Now that I'm playing 2 levels, I think that maybe Robbie's feedback is the same for this one, which is, if you are playing on desktop, I know that's not ideal. It might be nice if the radius were a little bit bigger. I'm sure this is much less friction rather on mobile, but it's a little bit tough when you get to the edges on desktop. But no, this is great though. This is really solid. I wonder if there's sound. Ah, yes. Yes. Really, really cool. Storm Hunter, before I move on, any thoughts? I think it's so simple, but it's so well done that to me this is pretty straightforward. What do you think?
Who's Storm Hunter?
That's
Storm
the way you say my name in English.
Oh,
Which
it
I'm always
is.
surprised you do that, Alexis. I've never actually heard anyone do that before.
Funny. So I think 2 German words. I think those are the 2 German words I know.
Storm and Hunter.
And yep. Like if I'm a tourist, I can't go into a restaurant and order food, but I can definitely talk about storms and hunting. So that's, I think, I know Meister as well, because everyone that knows Jaeger knows Meister.
You
But
got
yeah,
the food and
I'm
drinking
always
down. You're good.
I'm always tempted to try to say like the accent or something, and then I'm like, you know what, screw it, just say it in English. It's easier. So
Yeah,
give us
so
some
this
thoughts.
game was my attempt at making something super, super, super simple. Because I'm trying to adapt, because we're trying to figure out how the platform works with the swiping kind of TikTok feedish kind of stuff. And I wanted to make something super simple, and the point of this was you're cleaning a wall, so you're
Yep.
cleaning a wall, and that's it.
I love it. How do you feel about it now? Is this something you're going to publish as it is, or maybe you have actually? I'm not sure what the status of it
Yeah, I
is.
just pushed into the queue yesterday, I think, so it should show up soon.
That's great. Cool. Well, this will be a really fun one to study in terms of analytics, because there's really nothing about the game loop itself that I would change. So it'll be interesting to see, do people like this game mechanic? If they do, then it might be a question of, do you want to add features and see if you can get the game to go longer? If for some reason they don't, what's great about this is it's so simple that even a slight change would probably have a kind of immediate effect. So this will be an exciting one to follow once you publish it.
Yeah, like I said, it's
Okay.
an experiment, so it should be cool.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Keep us posted. Continuing the speed run, I'm going to check out Skull Hunter's game because this has gone through a lot of changes, and it sounds like this is doing pretty well. 1 minute 41 median playtime is excellent. That's like way up in the upper percentile. So I'm just going to get into the usual loop here, start doing some merging. I can see why people play this game. This one and the Dragon Ball Z game that's in Player's Choice. These are both just so playable. Like it's you kind of get addicted of just spawning and then merging.
Yeah, I just added a couple of quality of life updates
Uh-huh.
here. As you can see, that highlight when you select one card, and it shows which one
Yes.
you can combine with.
Oh, that's a
And
great idea. Because you know what? One issue that I did, I actually think I forgot to even mention this. One issue I have had is that some of the characters, even their various evolved states, look kind of similar. So this is
yeah,
a really nice.
try level 1 and 2 characters, and there you can see that they look kind of similar. For example, the Sasuke ones and also Naruto ones.
Yeah.
And that way it confuses players. And the other thing I did is I optimized it so it loads faster.
Okay, great. That's always welcome.
And in regards for the median playtime, that one is looking good, but it's kind of also a scam right now because it had a bunch of plays before, and because we did put it into private mode, and after we also published it again and did all those changes, and it kind of killed the momentum of it. So currently
Oh
I'm
no.
waiting. So currently I'm waiting on it to be revived or something like that, because I had other games where the play counts went to utter garbage, like under 100, and after a while it just revived. So I'm checking that one right now if it happens again or not.
Okay. But have you seen any changes since you, for instance, improved the download time?
Yeah, the graphs look really nice in the last 7 days. So it did improve a bunch.
That's great.
Like we have less 10 seconds plays.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, I think it's well deserved. You put a lot of work into this game. It looks and plays great. So it's good to see that players are rewarding it with their time. Nicely done. And if you find that the play count kicks back up again and you see any change in the numbers or whatever, definitely let us know. Let's follow this game's performance.
Yep, we let you know about it.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay, I got to run, but just real quick, I'm going to force Toxic's game to be played. Doesn't matter what he says. We always play it. So let's see. Toxic, anything new as I'm playing?
I just published it, so I have some
Great.
some stats on it, and I fixed that button that you had an issue with last time. So no, not really anything has changed. Just the publishing.
Okay. So you published it today?
Published it 3 days ago, and it got approved. Yes, last night.
Okay, great. So in other words, it's now live, and we're just waiting for the plays to kind of roll in and see how it's doing.
Yeah, I'm at about 500 plays since yesterday.
Okay. Well, look, in my opinion, the play session length doesn't really say much yet. But where are you at currently?
Here, I'll show you.
$49. Yeah. So, I find that
But if you
oddly
look
low.
and my play duration doesn't even literally look that terrible.
No, at least though you've got a concentration of 30 to 60 seconds, so you're in the neighborhood. Yeah, 49 though. Can you make a button for the computer to chop the tree? That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I look at this and I'm like, this is exactly the kind of mechanic that to me just invites a certain amount of experimentation. Sorry, what I mean by that is even if I'm not sold on this concept, I feel like it's just so hard not to just swing the axe. It kind of just begs you to just start playing around with it and seeing what happens. Now, that doesn't necessarily buy you a long play session time, but I think it buys you initial kind of goodwill from the player. And if I look at your graph, I'm kind of seeing that. Like basically nobody's bailing in the first 10 seconds. So you've gotten over the first hump, which is there's no obvious upfront problem. But the funny thing is you've got a lot of good meta loop stuff too. So the other
I
thought,
think
and this is
maybe. Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
want to hear it. I think maybe my progression isn't obvious soon enough, and so the players quit because they think maybe they're just beating on a tree and that's the whole game, which it is the whole game. But the tree changes out and different stuff
Yep.
falls from the top, and so the atmosphere changes. But I think maybe if I allow them to get to maybe the next level a little bit sooner, they can maybe
Mhm.
see that progression a little bit better.
That's a possibility. Another thought, though, and this is totally unrelated to anything we've really talked about so far, but with 3D games, so I know Erica in particular has had a lot of issues with 3D. I know, and you've been helping her. Like 3D games can be a bit of a minefield, but what's scary about them, I've had this experience with some of my games, is that a game that appears to be running fine can still have issues on certain phones, certain operating systems. So, for instance, if anybody remembers my Chill Runner game, it's this 3D racing game where you're in this futuristic city. It ran beautifully on my laptop and my phone. Everyone that tested it, it seemed fine. What I didn't realize though is that if you play the game for longer than about a minute on iOS, it just crashes every time. And this is not even an old hardware problem. It's actually a modern iOS memory allocation problem. So I had this issue with that game that wasn't even really visible unless I personally did a playtest session on my phone for a minute or longer, which I just wasn't in the habit of doing. But that was artificially lowering the play session length because on mobile devices, it would consistently crash at a minute. Like the memory would just overflow in a way that doesn't happen on a laptop. So that's one example of how games can have performance issues with either memory or frame rate or stuff that is not always obvious. But if, say, I don't know, I'm making up a number, say 30% of worldwide players have whatever device causes that problem and you don't notice that, that could mean 30% of your players just can't play your game or that it crashes too early or the frame rate is too low. So there's actually a fair amount of performance testing that you might want to do if you're finding that the play session length isn't what you want. If you can either get a hold of an older phone or if there's like tools you can use to throttle your CPU artificially to test it on, like some browsers let you do that. Those are things that might be worth doing. The other possibility is take all your code, just go into the code panel, copy all of it, paste it into whatever LLM you like using, especially if you have like a pro model from Gemini or ChatGPT, and just say, give me a performance analysis. Just break down anything about this game that might have compatibility issues or frame rate issues or whatever else, especially on lower end phones. And it can usually pick things out that might be a red flag. They're not always things you have to change, but it's at least something you can think about. This is something we're going to have built into the CX soon. It's not one of our top priority features, sadly, but I've been pushing for it because I think it's useful. So, anyway, sorry, it was a long lecture, but I think it's important to make sure that if the game plays well for you, that it actually plays the same way for all of your players.
For sure.
Sorry, go ahead, Toxic.
Oh no, you're good. I finished it off. That's good.
Oh, it looks like you've done that. Great, perfect. Okay,
I do
so
that.
maybe
I do that with all my games.
Great. Well, that's good. You're doing the right thing. B little to answer your question. If you look at, I think it's lesson 7 of Astro Academy. It breaks down the exact Chrome settings to use for throttling and testing to get a sense of how the game downloads. But that's not a performance thing. That's not CPU. You can also in Chrome. I know Chrome also has a CPU throttling feature, so it's not just about download times. You can also test slower processors. I haven't played with that as much, but it's something worth thinking about. I may experiment with that a little bit and add it to the lesson if it's helpful. Okay, so Toxic, it sounds like you probably don't have compatibility or performance issues from the testing you've done with ChatGPT.
No, not really. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's one of those things where we are still trying to figure out what our audience wants. I know that for my money, this immediately feels fun to me. And I don't think people are disagreeing because I think you're seeing the play session lengths within the first 30 seconds that show people do like this game mechanic. What I don't think is clear is whether or not the meta loop is holding people's attention. So who knows? But also, I feel like you've got so few plays that I would love to at least see 1,000 plays before I made any big decisions on this. Because I've had my own games that were performing a certain way up through 2,500 plays and then radically changed between 2,500 and 3,500. It's really strange. I don't think we even fully understand yet how swings in audience retention work exactly. Anyway, I apologize. We're leaving on kind of an uncertain note, but this is a work in progress. So I got to run, but thanks everybody for sharing your games. We will talk more about this week. I think our focus on playtime, even though there's a lot of questions we still haven't answered, is useful. So yeah, thanks everybody. See you guys tomorrow.
Later.
Thank you. Later.